It's Zach. It's Prime. We're here. It's time. That was a nice rhyme. Put it this
Hey,
myself.
spit.
Episode 53.
53 Marquise Pouncey. You got the rhymes going because you just saw the boy, the kid, the sixth guy,
Yeah.
Drizzy Drake.
Yeah. I guess that's still I mean, man, he speaks in rhymes. He speaks in like it's like Jalen Hurts. He just speaks in like idioms and just
Yeah,
everything to say. Man, everything the man said, I was like, wow, this is like
it
God
was
speaking right
deep, bro. It's like
now. Like this
modern
is
day Socrates.
literally. I'm like whatever you're trying to feed me right now, like I'm gonna soak it all in like a sponge.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was great. That was a great show. Um, I wish he played more for all the dogs though. He didn't. It was like
Didn't play
pretty
a lot
much
of.
the same show as last time. He played like IDGAF, the Sexy Red, where Rich Baby Daddy, and then he ended with
Yeah.
Slime You Out. But then the rest was like
Hmm.
the same.
Interesting. But I don't know. I've
Wheezy was
seen.
awesome.
What's up?
I say Wheezy was awesome.
Yeah, dude, that's the one thing that made me upset when I decided I wasn't gonna go on it. Was that Wheezy was gonna join them then? But I saw Wheezy once, so at least I can swallow that. But yeah, Wheezy and Drake, that's like my ideal concert. So I was hella jealous, especially when it's at Penn State a year after I graduate. Like that's such a God, Penn State getting all these fire concerts with all these
Right.
people. Travis, Combs, Drake. I'm jealous. But yeah, dude, it looked like a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of clips like surfacing online from his uh what do you call it, concerts. The intro, like when he walks out, looks like almost godlike. I feel like I'm on my knees for this guy right now, but Drizzy is like
Oh
my
man.
number one guy. So
Yeah. I mean, it was. I just gave him his flowers too. I mean, as the second time I saw him in like freaking like 4 months, I think.
wow.
When did I see him last? Um, I don't even know. Ever since I graduated, like time's just like one blob. I literally don't even know.
I was gonna
Uh,
say, dude, 4 months ago was January, technically. We're in April now.
no, it wasn't 4 months ago. It was pre for all the dogs. So it was
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
yeah, it was pre for all the dogs.
I
So
still,
maybe
I
not.
still, I still haven't gone to one, dude. I gotta go to one.
Yeah, he's that I will say this though. The only reason I bought the tickets because I was like, well, they weren't that expensive. It was at Penn State, you know. I was like, gives me an
Oh yeah.
excuse to go back. It's not that bad of a drive. Um, he was very because, and I also was like, I don't know if he's going to tour again because you know but the way he made it seem like he's going to come back in like maybe like a year or so. He could not stop talking about like how he was there in 2011 or 2009. One of them. I think 11 with You'll Never Guess. He's like I was here in like 2009. He's like look up who I was touring with. Look up who I was with. He's like just look it up. Just Google it.
Kendrick. He was
Kendrick.
the Kendrick and Rocky.
Kendrick and ASAP.
Yeah, the Club
Yeah.
Paradise tour. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
So that was the first time he's back there and he's like y'all welcome me like this is like an awesome moment and he could not stop talking about the crowd and it was an awesome crowd. I will say crowd was awesome.
Penn
He
State
did
loves
say that he
Drake.
was disappointed. Yeah.
Confirmed.
So that was cool.
That's
So you'll probably have another chance in the
yeah.
near future.
I hope so. I hope
Probably
so.
will.
But but yeah. Speaking of experiences that I
Oh, what's
have,
that?
but you need to do, UFC Fight Night, dog. Fight Night card, whatever. This wasn't even like a super card. It was just a random fight night because Blanchfield, which I didn't even know, that was the fighter I was going for. She was on the main card. She's a Jersey girl. Um, but my goodness, dude, like I'm gonna put this out there right now. This is a bold claim, but outside of a Penn State whiteout, UFC is right there, number two. The environment was electric. The fans were so nice. The fights were amazing, and like you watch it on TV, and it seems like it just drags on and on and on. But these fights go like back to back to back to back. Like we got there at 6:30, and saw fights nonstop till about 1 o'clock, and I was like, oh my god, it's 1 o'clock. Like it snap of a finger, it was gone. But it was awesome. Very American. A lot of USA chants were going out there. FJB, they were letting them fly. Um, gotta respect it.
Yeah.
Election year and all, but dude, just insane. And there was a great amount of knockouts and like you know drawn out decision fights too. So it made everything just awesome. But Blanchfield ended up losing by decision, which made no sense. There's people in behind, like I don't know if you saw my Instagram or not, but we had Blanchfield like screen printed T-shirts on. It literally looked like NFL or like like the vintage stuff that people try to sell on Instagram Reels, but like it was just all of her photos
Yeah,
collaged
yeah, yeah.
together. So we all like we got on TV apparently. I wasn't paying attention to the camera though, but there was a group behind us that was rooting for the other chick, and like every round I just get up and be like, "Number one, we're number one,"
Let's
and
go.
I felt like we won it, and no, we lost it like 3-2 majority decision. I was like, wow, that was shocked. So it sucked the vibes out with our girl losing, but God damn, Zach, it was beautiful.
The loss, yeah, the loss always stings. Like even if it's like a good experience, like overall, it's like the loss. You
Yeah, it's
just can't
tough,
take it, man. You just can't
tough.
take it. But yeah, I it's definitely on my bucket list, especially now that you have like that I have somebody in my ear. Like, yo, this is awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, the I could hear like it was like Penn State esque through the speakers of my laptop on Streamies. Like I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
dude.
but
It
like
got it
it
got
says
rowdy in there. It got
and
rowdy.
during the I forget their names. I definitely texted too, but
Yeah,
I forget their names. But like the two fights before the headliner.
yeah. Like I know it was Buckley and Weidman won the two
Yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Weidman, yeah, that Weidman fight. Whoever he was like going against,
yeah.
just it was brutal. Like it was good. It was good fighting.
It was good
It was
fighting,
good
dude. It
fighting.
was it was like what the best you could like ask for, honestly. I will say, like fans, what really blew me away was the fans because I'm as casual as you can get. Like I know McGregor, I know like Cowboy, I know Khabib, but like I don't know like I didn't know anybody in this fight. So like I'm like going in the bathroom. The only qualm was the bathroom lines. They're super long, but it's a bunch of guys. What do you expect? It's a bunch of guys out there, but got had like no beef. They were so nice. They would be like, "Oh, like you're here for Blanchfield. I see your shirt. Like you watch her a lot." I'm like, "I'll be honest. I know nothing about her. My buddy likes her, and I'm just here for it." And then, like they're like, "Oh, dude, like that's so awesome. This is your first fight. How you feeling about it?" I'm like, I love it so far, but like the next fight we got this, like we'll say Weidman's coming up. He's like, "Oh, Weidman loves the get on the ground, wrestle a little bit, but he has a nice strike." And they're walking me through. I'm like, man, this is great. And they're like, yeah, dude, you enjoy your night. We had an Irish guy, which was like probably the best thing, sitting like 3 rows behind me, and he's just blurting out like got a hot wife like around his arm, just blurting out like random shit and cracking me up. I loved it, but like I think like the fights definitely made it worthwhile, but really what the foundation of it was just the fans, dude. Like everybody around there. I feel like you go to basketball and like football games, and if you're wearing like a jersey or something, like you're gonna get like a oh screw you or your team sucks or like whatever. Or even same fans were trying to beat you up, but
Yeah,
everybody, despite the violent sport, very family esque, very family esque. Welcome
interesting,
me with open arms.
interesting. That is yeah, that's something that I wouldn't guess. I'd
Yeah,
probably
right.
yeah. It's interesting, especially in like a place like Atlantic City.
Yeah,
Very true,
especially
but
in
like
Atlantic City.
it's a little suspect areas. That's good to know though. Good to know though. Definitely on my list now. I was gonna say something. Uh, I forget.
The only final thing I'll put to close the book on UFC, I think one final reason why it was great is because BetMGM still hasn't contacted me and I'm locked out of my account. So I didn't place a single bet on any of the fights. So like every outcome, I was not on the edge of my seat. I did not care who won or who lost. I was just like, I just want to see some blood. And there was some blood. There was a lot of blood. So that was why it was a win,
Yeah,
win, win, win.
yeah. That's actually what I was gonna ask. Is like, did you have any money on any favorites or any dogs?
I wanted to. I wanted to, and I was gonna hit the sports book there at the casino, but the classic fellas had the Hooters pregame, so the wings, beer, and talent just distracted me, and then all of a sudden we were on the boardwalk walking and going. So I was like, do I run and meet them there? Nah, I think I'm okay. I'll keep this money for the beer
Respect,
because beers
respect.
were like $15. It was tough. I
Oh
think I
yeah,
had like 7 or 8 of them, but I was just like, you know what? This is probably. I can't imagine you go to a UFC fight anytime soon, or like any sporting event, maybe like Pirates, but uh, gotta live it up. So I lived it up.
yeah. No, that's it's steep for a beer. But you go to those events and it's like, yeah, I'm ready to pay like 15, man, like 30.
Yeah, like
Man.
you're just right, especially with no sports betting. So I'm just like, well, that money would have went to bets anyway. So especially since I'm wearing a Blanchfield shirt. Like I ain't throwing $5 down on Blanchfield. I
Yeah,
would have thrown some money on her. So I'm kind of I'm
yeah.
kind of happy I didn't.
Trying to feel something there. Um, yeah. Is that? I'll transition. I could
Yeah,
transition it if you have if
yeah. No,
that's all
I'm
you got.
good. We can close the book on that.
But no, I'm happy I could tune into that on Streamies, man. Shout out Streamies.
Shout out, shout out.
What's Streaming? I don't know what that is. Um, Betting wise, for me, yesterday at my event, can say that I had such a bad time.
What'd you hit?
Well, pregame, Embiid was announced on the way. I was like whipping on I-95, blasting a little bit of Meek Mill, as I always like to do, going to
As you should. As you should.
my Philly games on 95. It's just tradition. And B wasn't. I got the alert from Woj. I have his notifs on, so I got the alert and I was like, let's go. And then I like did a little bit of deep diving. Maxi out, SGA out, J Dub out. So I was like, okay, like this is interesting. This is interesting. His line was at 24 and a half. So I was like, all right, that's a little like 25 is good, but like I don't want to get hooked. So I went down. I had Sixers money line, which they went from plus 170 all the way. Like the script literally flipped. They were like minus 170 when
Hmm.
Embiid got announced, even with SGA and Jalen Williams out. So
Hmm.
talk about his impact, and it was definitely felt. But I just placed Sixers money line, Embiid 20 points. Threw a threw a
Bang
little
bang.
threw a little hammer on that. They were down 8 at halftime, and it was plus 250 on the money line. And I was like, you know what? Like we're going all in here. Like we're going
Yeah.
all
Yeah, like
all
we're watching this game. Let's make it exciting.
we're here. And I thought it was bullshit because like Isaiah Joe cat he hit like two back to back threes, and that's why the lead was 8. And I was like, okay, like he misses those shots. It's
Yeah.
we can get this done. We can get this done. I thought it was a good price, and it ended up being, but it wasn't without. It was every game I go to is always like there's always something like it's always interesting. It's always interesting whether they win or lose. But this is the first one they won in like I'm like one in the last five, four,
So
one in
so
the last
you,
four.
so you broke the streak.
Yeah, I was going 0 for 5 in the last five, so I'm happy about that. Um, it was not looking good at one point though. It was not looking good at one point. It
Hey,
was like they were down 8. They just could not break that like 8-point deficit, and then They finally did. They tied it at 83, and there was like 7 minutes left. And then Embiid, they called a charge on Embiid on the other end. It should have been an and one. And then that totally flipped the momentum. They went back up 8. The Thunder did, because then I think Case and Wallace got like an and one on the other end too. It was like a whole 6 point swing. Then they got a bucket timeout. I was like, fuck this. I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. We're not winning this. I did have to go, but I was like, I'm going. I was like, I need to take a walk. We're not winning this. And then I hear Oubre for 3. Like when I'm in the bathroom, I'm like wash my hands. Like, okay, like what do we got going on here?
Hey,
Kelly Oubre ended up with like 25 points. Was an absolute dog in the fourth quarter. And I told Gabby, I was like, if Oubre gets, because we were looking at like FanDuel, I was like, if Oubre gets 15 points, like we're winning this game. He ended up with like 25,
bang.
so that was sick. Um, but Embiid though, he
He's back.
first game back, man, and
He's
I
back.
don't. That is the best first game back from him ever. Like typically, it's like a little bit like war. Like he looked good. He looked spry. He looked like he was falling well. Like and he was obviously like conditioning. Like that'll get there. But he even like joked about it at the end of the game. Like, oh, I'm like fat. Like I've been eating too much. I gained like 50 pounds. But it'll get
Classic.
there. But I mean, they beat the number one team in the West. I mean, they didn't have their two best players. We didn't have our second best player, Melton. You can make an argument. He's the
Yeah, I was about
fourth.
to say, like the MVP wasn't playing Shea. Or the people's MVP. The people's MVP. Let me. Zap and I didn't stamp our MVP yet, but the people's MVP wasn't playing. But I thought it was funny when I heard the Embiid noise. Well, first I was like, hell yeah, send it to you. I'm like, Embiid's back. And then I thought it was funny once, I think it was like, oh no, that happened before when Shea and J Dubs were announced out. And then Embiid announced that he was active. I'm like, that's a classic Embiid right there. Oh, their best players are out? Oh yeah, I'll come back from injury now. I'm just playing though. Good
I
for
mean,
them.
maybe.
But it's also on the flip of the coin though, like Embiid every year has these injuries. Usually happens in the playoffs. So now it's out of the way, and now you got like you're given what two? How many weeks we have? 2, 3 weeks left of this season. Uh,
Yeah, about like
for
two,
Embiid to
2 weeks.
recondition himself before playoffs happen, when all these other guys have been, you know, kind of getting gassed through the whole season. I don't know. It's a great play. It's a great play for the Sixers. It looks good. It looks good.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that I can't say that I that I disagree with that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but like also like Maxi too has been kind of like he's been like in and out, so hopefully he can stay healthy. Um, you need the whole squad.
Yeah, no,
I
for
mean his
sure.
his present like OKC is still like a freaking good team without.
Oh
They
yeah,
were hitting
dude.
so
They're
many
yeah
shots.
they're yeah yeah. No, that's a solid win. I'm not discrediting that at all.
No,
No,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I was just saying more so like him at like 50. He was still at like 50%, but like his presence, especially down low, like you just saw the defense, like nobody wanted to go to the rim. No, not even like Chet did a little bit, but nobody wanted to go to the rim. Like they shot so well from 3. That's the only reason they were in the game. But like man, his presence down there, and I just come playoffs, that's gonna be hella valuable, especially when you got Buddy, you got Kelly. I mean, I know Kyle Lowry's been a decent backup point
Yeah,
guard.
yeah, yeah. Kyle Lowry's good, dude.
He knows what to do with the ball. Like he knows what to do. He'll do like a completely boneheaded
Yeah,
thing. Like
from
once,
time to time.
and I'll just be like, "What the fuck?" But then
Yeah,
he'll make up for it. He'll like hustle me
yeah.
up.
He'll get a charge or something on the other end. Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure. I just think like I got no qualms with Kyle Lowry. I just felt like
Yeah.
his time was done. But on the tune of Kyle Lowry, it's a good transition because I do want to talk about two other games. One of them last night, Heat Knicks. T Row. So I'm talking about Kyle Lowry, his replacement, Terry Rozier. I mean, he's starting to come on to his own.
Yeah.
Hit some big threes there of late, and overall the Heat team shut down the like monster stretch that Jalen Brunson was on. Tom Thibodeau would say it's fouls, but fouls go both ways. But that was a big win for the Heat as we're kind of trying to fight out of that play-in seed right now. Um, and Knicks are a great team, but I did want to mention that game specifically because Josh Hart, I think it was a day, like the same day or day before, was literally like Jimmy goes on all these side quests. But now we're getting to that time of the year when he's like, all right, let me get back to the main mission here. And one, I thought it was funny that we beat them after he said that about us. But two, literally this morning I see a photo of Jimmy Butler just riding a horse in what looks like downtown Miami. He's just horseback crossing the street. I don't know if you saw that photo or not, but cracking me up.
It's real.
Yeah, I'm taking it as truth. It looks like
Wait, really?
Jimmy. Um, I think the question is, I think your question should be, I think it is real, but when was that photo taken? Because like it could have been, mid July, August when the season's not even going on. But that photo just cracked me up because it was literally just like a beautiful series of events of Josh Hart saying he goes on these side quests, then Jimmy beats him, and then you just see Jimmy on a side quest. Did you get the photo pulled? Did you get the photo?
Dude, what the heck? Is that real? It looks like Lil Nas X or something.
Yeah, I know. I can't tell if that's real or not, but like I'm taking it as real.
Dude, what? That's awesome though. Like,
That
what the
yeah,
heck?
that's just like one of the things where I'm just like I'm LOL. I don't care if it's true or not, but that's hilarious. So I'm gonna take it for face value. It's truth. I'm deeming that now, but it's hilarious. The
That's
second
so
game
funny.
though, I wanted to talk about. Did you watch it at all? I kind of like didn't even know they were playing against each other. Luckily it was a late night game, but Wemby and Jokic played against each other last night.
Oh, I did. I didn't watch it, but I saw like I saw after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was writing blogs, so I was kind of like, in and out of it, just whatever. But just watching them too, like it turned into a little bit. Wemby definitely was trying to, uh, you know, go after Jokic a little bit. I mean, Denver obviously ended up winning because the supporting cast around Wemby is just tragic, absolutely tragic right now. But it was great. I mean, Wemby almost had a quadruple double with I believe it was points, rebounds, blocks, and assists. Uh, but he is just it's I'm excited for it's gonna take him a few years and Spurs gotta like uh figure some things out. But I'm excited for Wemby and his future. And really more importantly, I think Pop is like has like a spark back into him. Because I feel like he was dying there. I felt like he was gonna retire any minute, but NBA gods bless the Spurs and bless Pop with another elite big man. But that was so much fun to watch. I was just happy I was able to kind of find that on League Pass. So shout out League Pass for that.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah, dude. That's one of those games where I'm like, fuck. Like, I wish I watched that. Like, lie where that's one I just like would just appreciate like the hoop aspect.
Yeah, just the hoop of it. Like, I don't care who wins, but like, it's Jokic versus Wemby. It's like now versus future. Like, as far as big men go.
No, yeah, that's pretty sick. Um, the one thing that stood out to me was like it was like a sequence. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but uh, like Wemby block Jokic, and then there's a he got like a putback on like the other end, and then like Jokic running, and then he like blocked Jokic, and then Jokic like yammed on him. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sequence, yeah.
It just that's what I was saying. Like at it was I'm pretty sure when I was alluding to before, it was like at the one point it was just them two just going back and forth at each other. Um,
Love it.
it was yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Um, Yeah, dude, it's exciting. I haven't I gotta I've been keeping up with the NBA. I haven't watched too much NBA ball because it's all been college ball. I don't know if we want to get transitioned into that, but I'm excited what I want to meaning why I want to say that is because I'm excited for after college basketball because NBA playoffs get right up in geared and like I don't know. I'm a big hoop guy. NBA playoffs gets shat on a lot. I really like the NBA playoffs. I think it's fun. I think there's always, pretty great matchups. You can knock on the finals last year, but maybe it's just because the Heat. But they were an 8 seed. Like you don't come on now. Like that's like a cool ass little run. But I'm
Mhm.
excited for going back to NBA talk because I don't know. Interested to hear what you have to say compared to what we had to say kind of like in the January, February when we were really kind of going back and forth with NBA.
It's getting to well, yeah, I was kind of like tuned out for not tuned out, like I was tapped in, but like when Embiid was hurt, I was kind of just like this fucking sucks. Because I just didn't feel like the season was I don't know, what do you want to say? Like living up to its potential. I mean, in my mind, the best player in the world is not
Yeah,
playing every night.
yeah.
Um, Now that he's back, I'm definitely a little more like okay, let's go.
You got
It's
the extra juice. You got the juice you needed.
exactly. Um, he's back, and I'm not gonna say that they're the favorite, but the quest is back on. That's for sure. My future is looking a lot better.
Here we go.
Um, the odds have literally sliced in half. I'm kind of pissed I didn't like triple down on it now. Uh, but so I'll pull up the standings. I think that's probably like the best way to go about it.
Yeah, I'm worried about my Heat Clippers because I saw Kawhi was out with knee soreness, and it was the same knee that he messed up last year. And I'm a little worried about the Clippers because if Kawhi ain't on the court, then I don't really believe in the Clippers at all. It's kind of like with Embiid out on the Sixers. I mean, obviously, when your best player's out, just a little, I don't know, as far as bets go. But